Good evening. This is Edna Fisher here at KALW in San Francisco. 91.7 on your dial. FM, of course. And I have the great, really and truly, I say it almost every week, I have the great privilege of introducing some dear friend from long ago, or last week sometimes, but talented people. And today I have the great Avon Jardin, who is, I guess, the best dance band, well, girl dance band singer in San Francisco way, way back in about the 40s, I guess. And she was a pupil of mine. She was sort of a protege of mine, like Tommy Harris was, and Patsy Lee, and a whole bunch of them. I wish I'd pick a loser once, so it wouldn't sound like I'm bragging all the time. But the ones I just always fall in love with and keep in my heart forever are the ones who are so full of music. And Avon is just as full of music as she was in those days. She and her wonderful husband, Neil Hewson, her one and only, live at Rossmore now, and she did me the great honor and the great, well, made me feel so happy to say yes, she'd love to come over and be my guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, and all you wonderful fans out there, here's Avon Jardin. Hello, dear.
Hello, Edna.
So good to have you here.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Oh, you haven't changed a bit.
Thank you. You haven't either.
That's true, ladies and gentlemen.
I think when you're around music, you just don't change.
No, you just stay that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it's really wonderful. I think it's just great that you're here. And let's get off like in the good old days.
Fine.
With that, what's that song you want me to play for you?
Angry.
Oh, yeah, in the key of G, huh?
In the key of C. In the key of C.
Oh, the key of C.
Angry, please don't be angry, 'cause I was only teasing you. I wouldn't even let you think of leaving. Don't you know I love you true? Just because I took a look at somebody else, that's no reason you should put poor me on the shelf. Angry, please don't be angry, 'cause I was only teasing you. Please don't be angry, 'cause I was only teasing you. I wouldn't even let you think of leaving. Don't you know I love you true? Just because I took a look at somebody else, that's no reason you should put poor me on the shelf. Angry, please don't be angry, 'cause I was only teasing. Why don't you reason? I'm only teasing you.
Well, you'll tease everybody singing that way. They'll beg for more if you keep that up. I guess they do over at Rossmore, don't they?
Well, I'm kept pretty busy.
And I
playing
hear you
the
play a
piano
lot
and
of
singing.
golf.
I play some golf,
Yeah, I hear quite the gal golfer over there.
I tell you.
You know Hazel Myers?
Hazel Myers, I know the name,
She
yes.
plays, I think. Now, I know she does a lot of swimming there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyhow, you still can sing with the best of them.
Thank you.
You just love it, don't you?
Yeah, I really do. I've never given it up.
Oh, I just remember when you used to come over and we'd work out ideas together. And you were singing with Johnny Wolohan's band.
Johnny Wolohan.
At the Elf
yes.
patio,
No,
wasn't it?
I was at Johnny Wolohan's ballroom to start with.
Yeah. Oh,
And
what a
then-
great band.
Oh.
You were telling me driving out here, and the instrumentation, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the days when every place had live talent.
Live talent is
And
wonderful.
all the musicians were working, if you were any good at all.
Reed Tanner was our arranger. He was absolutely great.
Yeah.
And we had an oboe and a French horn and 3 trombones and 5 saxes and the rhythm section and Johnny playing the piano. He was a
And
great
you
pianist.
singing.
Yeah, and me singing. And we sang on KFR. I sang on KFRC every
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, I remember that. That's
Mhm.
right. But did Johnny buy the El Patio?
Yes, he did. The Furniture Mart bought the whole street where the Wolohan's ballroom was.
Is that so?
So he bought into the El Patio, and we were real busy getting new arrangements and having a new band, and it was just fabulous. I was
I
with him almost
remember the-
5 years.
Is that, yeah, I do know that. There was another ballroom that had a great band. Phil Harris played the drums in it. Walter Craw's Grill, way down in the Balconades, it was called, down near to 6th Street, I think, on Market.
I don't know if that was the one that I worked while we were changing over from Wolohan's to the El Patio. I worked with Maury Wolohan,
Yeah,
John's nephew.
Yes.
And the Terry played. His nephews played instruments, and that was when I happened to go into the ballroom and see this man who was a manager there, and I thought I know him. So I walked up to him, and come to find out he had been the business agent of the Millinery Union. That my mother was a milliner. So could I tell you a story?
Oh, sure. We just love stories around here.
Well, he called me into his office, and he shut the door. And he said, "Could you tell me, please? I sit here every night, and I look up at that band, and the trumpet players will play about 4 bars or a little bit of music, and then they stop and they sit and look at everybody dancing. Then the trombone players will play, and then they sit and look. And then the saxophones play." He said, "Why don't they all play?" I thought maybe he felt that he wasn't getting his money's worth. So I said, "Well, you were in the Millinery Union, and you hired a designer to design a hat. And she didn't put everything on the hat, ribbons and bows and sequins and everything. It's the same way with music. It's selective, and you show off each instrument as it's played." So at least he felt he was getting his money's worth.
That was very nice. I never thought of it that way, and it's a very good illustration. Your mom's well?
My mom is fine.
Oh, that's great. She lives over there near
Yes,
you.
she lives there. Lots of friends I've met.
You
Know
know-
you, Edna?
Oh, I know that. Half of Rossmore went to school with me at Berkeley High and so forth. I get over there quite often.
You went to Berkeley High, so did I.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. And you did take some piano. I was never a piano teacher, but you were so full of it naturally.
I learned the terrific arrangements from you.
Yeah.
Terrific
Why
arrangements.
don't you
Just
play
give-
one now?
Oh, well, let's see.
Show off a lot.
Well, I see if
wanna
I can
make
remember
myself
this.
look good. remember that ending. That was one of mine, wasn't it?
The whole thing was.
Was it?
Yes, the whole song.
Do that ending again. I've
Oh.
forgotten it.
Let's see.
Wonderful. You play it just as good as ever.
Thank you.
Maybe better.
Isn't it great to remember it that long?
I was just going to say. And I know you've been sick in bed, so you weren't practicing.
No.
Well, you see, it's right in your mind all the time and in your heart. So you'll always get along. Well, what else would you like to do? How about He's Funny That Way?
He's funny that way.
I'll play that for you,
Okay.
shall I?
Mm-hmm.
I think I can. In the key of G. I know this is the key of G,
That's
isn't
the
it?
key of G. Sort of ad lib.
I'm not much to look at and nothing to see. Just glad I'm living and lucky to be. I've got a man crazy for me. He's funny that way. I can't save a dollar. I ain't worth a cent. He doesn't holler. He'd live in a tent. I've got a man crazy for me. He's funny that way. Though he loves to work and slave for me every day, he'd be so much better off if I went away. When I hurt his feelings once in a while, his only answer is one little smile. I've got a man crazy for me. He's funny that way. But why should I leave him? Why should I go? He'd be unhappy without me. I know I've got a man crazy for me. He's funny that way.
Great, Ed, and it's so much fun to sing with you again.
Oh, it's so much fun to play for you. I can relax when you sing.
Thank you.
You know what you're doing.
Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of you. I'm really thrilled, and I'm not meaning to flatter you.
Well, all my singing now, I have to play for myself, so it's great to have you great pianists like you to play for me.
Well, it's nicer to sing when you have somebody to play for you. Although there are a few like Mabel Mercer and
Yeah.
Bobby Short, and quite a few who do a good job of both at once. But let's go on with a little bit about the past.
Mhm.
What do you think of today's music?
Well, I'm trying to understand it. I'm taking jazz organ, and I had studied a lot of harmony, but this is even more advanced.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have to be more of a musician to like real jazz.
Yeah, well, real jazz is just having a good melody to improvise upon, I think. That's real jazz.
Yeah, but improvisation.
Not
sort of
noise or violence or a beat.
No. Mm-mm. The kids' music, kids, I go to the quote of today.
Well, we're all kids.
It's hard for me to understand it because it seems so loud.
Yeah. Well,
The band played
it's
loud.
a very loud age.
Uh-huh.
Very blatant, and that's not meant to knock this age, but
No.
it is a a loud age, really.
It is.
Between the sounds of airplanes and the sounds of thousands of automobiles and the sounds of everything in the world is running around us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear a real pretty melody like Say It Isn't So, Say It Isn't So, well, right away
Mm-hmm.
there's a lovely melody
Yes.
in that, and it's quiet and peaceful and brings a little love into the
Mm-hmm.
picture for a while anyhow. And that's why I won't give up the old-time songs.
No.
They're basically very sound.
Well, they're very popular out of Rossmore.
Well, right now, I understand, I was talking to a friend the day before yesterday from New York, and he was a former pupil of mine, and he's working in a nightclub there now. He plays piano and sings, and he was telling me the smartest thing in New York are the old ones to play now, are the classic standards.
Yes.
The other places are just where the young kids go to get a lot off their chest, make a lot of noise and jump and so forth. And I guess I was the same when I was a little kid, except I was doing the playing.
Mm-hmm.
I never got a chance to be one of the dancers.
You never did get a chance, huh?
No, I was always,
know in high school-
played for the dancers.
Yeah, and when I was in high school, they used to have me play the piano, and one girl came over and said, "Oh, I just love to hear you play." So I said, "Well, just sit here and listen to me then, and don't dance with my boyfriend."
That's nice. Was it Neil then?
No, not Neil
No.
Venn, no. Oh, speaking of Neil Venn, I was thinking back of when I met you.
Yeah.
I was working at Fanshawe and Marco, and I was taking singing lessons and playing for the dancers. Now they don't do that. They have
Oh.
canned music, I suppose. But at the time, they sent a call in that they were looking for singers over at the Stage Door Canteen.
Mm-hmm.
So I went over, and I was going with Neil then, and he was going to be shipped out overseas. And sure enough, who do I meet but Edna Fisher? And you
I know.
played for me at the Stage Door Canteen.
Yeah, well, I was always every place, whether it was music,
Mm-hmm.
I was doing the playing. It
Yeah.
seemed like, anyhow. I'm very grateful for a lifetime of music.
Yes. And Wally King was the announcer.
Yes, I think he was a good one.
Was he announcer every night or certain nights?
No, each night, like we had Marvin E. Lewis,
Mhm.
a great lawyer, Wally King. Oh, gee, I wish I could think of the rest of them. You caught me off guard. Each night we had a different prominent announcer or person, man, be the MC.
Mm-hmm.
And we had, we did have the best Stage Door Canteen in San Francisco.
It was great.
In the whole United States. That's a matter of record. And I know I accompanied everybody from Yehudi to Jenny Sims. Remember her?
Yes. Uh-huh. Or Kay
And,
Kaiser.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, I didn't accompany him. I think we had his band there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Jenny Sims, and who was that? Oh, Dick Powell. Remember him in the movie?
Yes.
I don't know if many of you folks out there will remember him. He was great. So I had they'd come in the green room and say, I'm going to do a chorus and a half of this and
Mhm.
a chorus and a half of that. And no rehearsal, we'd go upstairs and do it.
Great.
You just had to know your
You
business.
did, yes.
And of course, I did know most of the songs in those days. So, what would you like to do next?
Well, I could play for myself and sing I Can't Give You Anything But Love, Baby.
I'd love that.
Okay.
Just entertain me. I'm your audience.
I can't give you anything but love, baby, 'cause that's the only thing I've plenty of. Baby, dream a while, scheme a while, you're sure to find happiness lucky day. You know darn well, baby, I can't give you anything but love.
Play with me.
Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell, baby, 'cause love and kisses were worth doesn't sell, baby, till that lucky day. You know darn well, baby, I can't give you anything but love. I can't give you anything but love.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
That was one of Milt's favorites. You know, when we came in and you tried out the piano
Mm-hmm.
today,
Mm-hmm.
you played Who.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was an arrangement I made.
Yes.
And you hadn't done it since,
Oh,
I guess.
I haven't played it for so long.
And it was his favorite, too.
Mhm.
It was our theme song, you know. It was a hit in 1926. And,
I love Milt.
oh, yeah,
He's a nice man.
great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could get through that? And I'll
Well, will you
fill
play
out
with
the-
me? I start out in
I'll
D.
do- A D?
In D
Oh,
first.
keys don't bother me, so...
Well, I'm not going to play an intro. I'll just start out and see if I can remember it.
And
huh?
I'll fill in here and there.
Okay,
But
great.
don't stop yourself from doing
No.
what you want to do.
Okay. Well, we ended together anyway. That reminds me of the radio show you had.
That
when
was...
we were on.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
phrase I've forgotten.
Well, one chord I wasn't quite sure of, so.
Oh, you got them right. It just sounded great.
Thank you.
Well, we have about 6 minutes left, I think, or 3 minutes left. So let me see. I'll play when I get requests for a
Mhm.
lot. So
I'd love to.
night and day. That answered a lot of requests.
Beautiful.
You might write in and tell me not to play it again. I'm just so thrilled with Avon Jardin being here, and you really are great.
Thank you, Edna.
And you've been a big help to me and inspiration, and I'm proud of you. And glad I had a little to do with your beginnings.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad I met you.
No, don't you dare give up what you know about music.
No.
The world needs it
Thank
much
you.
more than you do. So it's a good bond between people too.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that as you've grown up?
Yes. Yes.
If you had musical interests,
Mm-hmm.
you remained friends, even though you wouldn't see them for 10 or 15 years.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Do you remember Marilyn Merle, the girl band that we had a combo that we studied from you for a while?
No,
she lives
forgotten
in
that, I think.
Maryland. She lives in Orinda now, and I see her quite often.
Does she play?
Mm-hmm. She studied piano for me. She played bass before and trombone, but she studied piano.
Well, give my love to everyone at Rossmore, and especially your mother.
Certainly will.
And I guess it's time I was saying goodbye. So here, thank you, Avon Jardin. And lovely people for listening to us. Stay happy, and you will stay wonderful if you do. There's lots to be happy about. I'll see you next week at the same Someday soon, preferably next Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. This is Edna Fisher saying good night here in San Francisco at KALW.
That's a take.